Right, I'm here at Molly Malones and I'm joined by Darryl. Darryl, can you tell me a little bit about what you do?
Hi, I'm Darryl. I've been running Molly Malones for about 2 years now. We have got somewhat of a reputation for kind of grassroots gigs, and we like to give platforms to young and emerging artists. Prior to that, I was at quite a legendary venue in Holloway, Nambucca, for 5 or 6 years, and we had gigs by the Kaiser Chiefs, Wolf Alice, the Kooks, those kind of artists. And I've kind of always been in and around music, playing in bands, collecting records. And now here we are in Hitchin.
Yeah, nice one. Didn't know that about Wolf Alice and Kaiser Chiefs. That's very good.
Yeah, we had some amazing gigs down there. It had previously been really well known as an indie venue, and kind of Baby Shambles and the Holloways and all that mid-noughties landfill indie sort of came from that sort of time. We reopened it in 2014. And there was just loads of other bands around that sort of time as well. We had Idols, no, not Idols, Slaves as they were then, Soft Play I think they are now. Yeah. Wretch Free 2 came through and done some stuff, and yeah, we had some pretty amazing gigs.
Yeah, wicked, man, wicked. And so what would be your favourite band of artists of all time?
Well, I've given this some serious thought, and I would be lying if I said anyone other than Michael Jackson.
Yes, nice.
I'm afraid to say, I'm not even afraid to say it. For me, there's no guilty pleasures when it comes to music. That was what really sparked my interest in pop music, in performance. My mum went to the Bad Tour in maybe '89, so I'm kind of 5 years old, and she comes home with a bandana for me, and I'm moonwalking around the kitchen in my socks and all that kind of stuff. So I just always loved Michael Jackson, and that's always fed into everything that's come from that, really, is sort of soul, funk, hip-hop, R&B, pop music, performance. I just think he was a generational talent, really. So
yeah, I actually recently watched a film, and now
I haven't seen the new one yet. It's hard because they're going to whitewash certain elements, let's say, and you have to sort of get a picture of the whole artist. But for me, there are some artists that you have to separate the personal life from because they're just too important. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? We can afford to lose a Gary Glitter or a Rolf Harris, but we can't afford to lose MJ, I'm afraid. He still endures to me now, and I've got a 1-year-old, and I'm introducing him to him at the moment. Yeah. So yeah, it's a lifelong love for me.
Yeah, wicked. Me and my missus spent a few evenings ago, we spent watching all of his music videos in one go.
Because some of great evening. That's a perfect evening. I did Speed Demon with my little boy this morning, where he turns into the rabbit and flies off on the motorbike. That's when you're a kid. What more? How magical is that? Do you know what I mean? We can all go and watch a load of guys in skinny jeans strumming away endlessly on Telecasters for 4 hours at a gig, and that's great. I'll go to those gigs as well. But that man could walk backwards and forwards at the same time. That's massive. Do you know what I mean? He was like an alien to me. I love him. I still love him.
Oh, nice, man. And what would be your favourite album of all time?
Again, I'm going to focus on the word favourite because there are albums that mean a lot to me that have kind of changed how I listen to music, or they, really bring up a certain time in your life or the social circuit that you was with at that time. But the one that I would have to say is my favourite, just in terms of how fun it is and how fresh it still sounds, even after kind of 60 odd years, is a band called Small Faces. And they did in the late 60s an album called Ogden's Nut Gone Flake, which is a late 60s kind of psychedelic acid rock, extravagant concept album, very much in the vein of Dr. Pepper, Sergeant Pepper's. You'll have to cut that bit out. He runs a music venue. He doesn't even know what the name of the Beatles album.
I do love Dr. Pepper, though.
I love Dr. Pepper. I must have drank me about 15 Dr. Peppers. Oh my God, what am I doing? Right, yes, it's very much a Sergeant Pepper's-esque kind of expression. The first side is the story of Happiness Stan, who realises half the moon's missing. And so he flies off on the back of this enormous fly, shares his shepherd's pie with him, meets Mad John, the homeless man in the woods, and they find the other half of the moon. Yeah, wicked. And it's one of the greatest British rock albums of all time. It encompasses our traditions of vaudeville and Victorian sort of theatre and all that kind of stuff, and it's got Stanley Unwin doing his made up language, and it's great. It's great. It's a sleeper hit, and I recommend it to everyone.
Yeah. I've never been. I know of Small Faces, listened to a few of their big hits, but I've never listened to any albums full. So I'll give them a.
They're very much like the Beatles. There's almost two bands in a way. So the early Small Faces were trying to be Booker T and the MGs. They're like an R&B band. Steve Marriott's like powerhouse R&B vocals, all that sort of stuff. And then they discover acid. And much like most of the early 60s bands, all of a sudden the hair goes long, the trousers get wider, and the music gets more experimental, and I just think that that's one of the best examples of that. So I'm going to go with that one. I had about 4 others, but that's the one I'm going with.
Yeah, nice, man. That's good, great. And you know, what's the? I mean, obviously, if you worked in venues before, but what's the best gig you've ever seen or been to?
Man, I'm going to go back to MJ again. I was lucky enough in '96 or '97 to get to the History Tour at Wembley, the old Wembley, and I was maybe 12 or 13 years old, and those kids that you see hyperventilating on the music videos, that was me. Like, I literally could not believe I was there. Couldn't believe I was like that was probably the first actual concert that I'd ever been to, and you never get that buzz back. Like, it is like a drug. I've spent probably the last 30 years of my life paying more and more money to go to. Like, I think the tickets to MJ were like $27.50 or something like that. I mean, it is 30 odd years ago, but you know, now
it'd be about 200 quid now.
Well, it's outside of the reach of most normal ticket paying concert goers, and I think that's wrong. And I think that bands should actually take. I think Robert Smith from The Cure was trying to do something where he was like boycotting the kind of ticketing platforms and making it affordable. And I know, is it Billy Joel? I think Billy Joel brings down the ticket. He keeps the front. He doesn't sell the front row of his concerts, and he'll bring down people from the back and put them in the front row because he wants real fans there rather than people just like corporate tickets just yawning for it or whatever. So I think that's wrong. But yeah, I forgot the point I was making now. MJ at Wembley never really sort of managed to get that buzz again, and I've seen some amazing bands like live since then. White Stripes at Ali Pali and Bjork and you know, some amazing stuff. But it's back to MJ.
Sorry. It's good with that, you know, the ticket prices thing, because I can't remember the name of the band, but it's quite a small band, but they did £1 tickets at Brixton Academy.
Great. Great. I mean, or at least like do some sort of incentive for the low waged or people on benefits, because they like to enjoy music too. And there seems to be this like prevailing attitude in society where it's like, well, if you're on benefits, you deserve the bare minimum. There's some pasta, there's some beans, there's a roof over your head. Now shut the fuck up. Like, but shouldn't you be allowed to go and get a haircut or go and see a band or like those things as well? Like,
definitely.
That's important.
And who do you think's the most overrated band or artist of all time?
I don't really jive with the overrated thing. I feel like music's so subjective. Like, for me to say something's overrated, like, who am I to say that? Do you know what I mean? If they're popular, then there's something that is connecting with people, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. And you'll get like people take easy pot shots at like Coldplay, U2, maybe that sort of thing. I think that's just kind of lazy. They bring joy to people. I don't know, like, there's a lot of bands that I don't really connect with, like big bands that I know I should, like Led Zeppelin, for example. I don't think they're overrated. I can really see how important they are in music, but I would listen to Howlin' Wolf or Son House or kind of the original blues stuff. The Stones is the same as that for me. But I think if I was going to say like a modern example, it would probably be something like a George Ezra. Not because I don't, like, I can see that he's a good songwriter and he's talented and all that, but it's very middle of the road. It's very porridgey, yoghurty, kind of nothingy thing, and then people love it, and that's fine for them. I don't want to take that away from them, but for me, it doesn't move me. It's not challenging me in any way.
I've never heard someone describing music as yoghurty or porridgey.
I've got a feeling I might have nicked that off Liam Gallagher. I'm sure he described Chris Martin as a yogurt or something once, or a lettuce, I think, and I've been nicking it ever since.
I do know what you mean though, because I'm the same with like Red Hot Chili Peppers. I appreciate them.
What? I wish I'd said Red Hot Chili Peppers. Can we do Actually, my most overrated band is the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I've always said that.
I appreciate them, but they're like, you know.
Well, the Red Hot Chili Peppers was kind of the reason my first band split up, funnily enough. There's a little bit of a side story, but the first band I was in, we were very much an indie pop band. It was Blur and Oasis and that kind of stuff. And then the singer and the guitarist discovered the Red Hot Chili Peppers, and I discovered the Small Faces and the Who, and we kind of went our separate ways. And the rest of the band went on to become Gecko, who were a really well-known band in the sort of mid to late noughties and did loads of stuff around this area. And I'm still very close friends with Mark, who was the guitarist from Gecko. He's a fantastic solo artist now, if you ever get a chance to see him. So yeah, the Chili Peppers, because they broke up my band as well.
The Chilies. And you know, after a few post-shift pints, you know, you might get the karaoke machine out. What's your go-to song?
Well, we actually host a karaoke. We do a karaoke once a month. A lot of my staff go to the Emmerdale Performing Arts School in Letchworth, so they're all dancers, musical theatre. They're all great singers. So one of them hosts it for me, Phoebe. And normally I'll have another one working, Annie, who's a fantastic singer as well as Phoebe. And we've got a little bit of a tradition now where we'll do Suddenly Seymour from Little Shop of Horrors together.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah,
I'm a massive musical theatre fan. Like, I absolutely loved Grease growing up. I loved like Top Gun. To me is a musical.
Top Gun's one of my favourite films of all time.
Yeah, of course, and great soundtrack. Absolutely fucking banging soundtrack. Oliver, Bugsy Malone, all of that kind of stuff. So yeah, we do Suddenly Seymour. Annie does it amazingly, and I will. She'll carry me. She carries me. But I've had about 4 or 5 rum and cokes by this point, so I'm normally think I'm better than I am.
We need to do a separate chat about musicals because I'm big on musicals as well.
You should do a musical special.
Yeah, that'd be great.
On here, here's all these cool scenesters, but what would you really listen to when you go home? And, you know what I mean? That'd be quite cool. Yeah.
Yeah, nice. And is there a song you've got on repeat right now? It could be new or old or anything.
I'm really into this young rapper that's coming out of New Orleans, sort of Louisiana, I think it is. He's called Lareezy. And it's real New York boom bap, proper old school hip hop, big samples, big sax samples, strings, cool conscious flow, very like positive messages like what you'd have found in like De La Soul and Dilated Peoples and stuff in the 90s. He's got a bit of a Jay Dilla kind of production value thing going on. He's just cute. Like you watch his videos, he's just like cool. He's about 20 years old. He's just, and he's got this tune called "I Look Good," which is just like put it on in the morning, have your coffee, put a fresh shirt on, and damn, I look good. I'm Malcolm in the Hood. It works. I wish I could put it on for you before you go.
I need to listen to that.
Yeah, easy. Check him out. I think he's only got an EP out so far, but he's on Spotify and stuff, and he's getting hits. He's growing artist. So good. One to watch maybe.
Yeah, have a look. And obviously, the gigs at Hitchin Priory coming up in August. Is there someone that you'd love to see there? Could be anyone.
Well, when I saw that question, I started approaching it from like an actual promoter's, like who could I realistically get? Do you know what I mean? Like I could say Elvis. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to happen. I'd love to see Elvis in Hitchin. That would be ridiculous, but it's not going to happen. So I was thinking of bands in that kind of band, basically, that kind of scope of who you could get. And I came back to the Manic Street Preachers.
Oh yeah, nice.
But the reason being is I was tempted to have it as my favourite album. This Is My Truth, Tell Me Yours. Just because at like I think maybe 12 or 13 years old, I saw them on the Brit Awards, and they were doing a Design for Life, and they have all like Nietzsche and Marx slogans, and I didn't know what any of it meant, but I knew that it was exciting, and I wanted to learn more about it. So that kind of was the start of me moving away from pop music and into more like indie and alternative and rock music and stuff like that, R.E.M. and the Manics and Placebo and things like that. So This Is My Truth, Tell Me Yours came out, and that was such a close one for the album. But I'd love to see them done live. If they're listening, the Priory, give old James Dean Bradfield a ring. Tell him we'll do the after party in here. They can come and do an acoustic set and warm up here, and then go and play the Priory.
They can come down to the record store day after.
There you go. Exactly. They can bring some signed records for the shop. We've got a whole little cottage industry going on in Hitchin. It's a beautiful thing.
Cool, and then one last question, a bit of a bonus question at the end. What do you think the biggest hidden gem is in Hertfordshire? This could be anything music related to or not music related.
I'm gonna take the liberty to say Molly Malones.
Self-noms.
I have to. A shameless self-promotion. You must. I can't be the first one, surely.
I can't remember now. I don't know. But yeah, fair play.
Yeah,
fair play,
like honestly, and not from like we're the best or we're anything like that. But I just think if you're just landing in Hitchin, you've never been here before, and you want to get a bit of a cross section, you've got specialist places like Club 85 that we love, that do the higher level gigs that we're not doing that sort of stuff. Do you know what I mean? They do that really, really well, and you can go and see that, and that's great. And then you can go to other pubs and they'll have a great covers band in on a Saturday night or whatever. We do that on a Saturday. But if you come here on a Tuesday, it might be a jam night. If you come here on a Thursday, it might be an open mic. We might have an open deck session with DJs playing stuff. So I just think you can land in here most nights of the week, and there'll either be something musical happening, or we'll have a really good game of football on, and we'll get round the piano afterwards and have a couple of songs. So I am shamelessly self-noms.
No, fair play.
And if I can just take the liberty, can I name 2 bands as well?
Of course, yeah.
I'm going to take 2 musical ones as well. I'm going to say Creation. They're a bunch of local lads, very much in the vein of Stone Roses, Oasis, if you like that. Big bass hooks, Arctic Monkeys, furious drumming.
Up my street, that.
Lyrics very much like concerned with open roads and sunshine and all that. So it's very like 90s. It's cool. I love them guys. And I'm going to take the liberty to say the Skive as well, who are a local sort of punk mod kind of band that are very spiky, power pop, jam. Very, you know, they're doing songs about what a Tommy Robinson is, and and throwaway stuff about like what a bargain their latest meal deal was from Sainsbury's and stuff like that. And I just think that's great, like a bit of humour in the stuff as well. So check out the Skive and check out Creation, and come and check us out at Molly Malones.
Yeah, definitely come check down on Molly Malones, and also the bands, the bands can jump on the video series with me, and we can do a get one there.
That'd be great. The Skive will give you a funny interview. I would say Sonny from Creation is probably the most reluctant frontman I've ever met. He's like a James Dean sort of shy guy, so you might not get
one more night.
Yeah, you might do. But they're great. Once he's on stage, he comes out of himself. But yeah, they're really good. Good.
Thanks very much, Darryl, man. I really appreciate your time, mate. It's been a pleasure. And get down to Molly's for the football, for live music, and cheers.
Cool.
Yeah.
Thanks,